Alright, this is MalaMaker, and I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of the parts and kind of how fit up should work on the MalaMask. I've got a handful of parts here that have been printed on about 4 to 5 different printers. I have some that are fitting together very well and how they should be expected to fit together, and I have some that are a little bit tight to get together. And so what I wanted to do is show this video to kind of give you guys an idea of how these parts really should fit together. And I'm going to show you actually from 2 different printers how the parts, somebody else printing these parts, I'm printing these parts, I should be able to take a part from one printer and a part from my printer, and they fit together in a similar fashion. That is a very key component of these masks fitting together right, and also sealing properly and seating properly when you put them together. And then I have some parts that I believe what's going on is on the printer is we're having a little bit of over extrusion. So ultimately it's pushing just a little bit too much plastic out and ultimately squishing the plastic out a little bit too far on the edges. And ultimately we're going to run into some fit up issues with that. The parts should be alright to use, but they may take some sanding to get them down to fit in a very nice clean fashion. So anyways, let's show off some parts. So the clear parts are parts that I've been printing. This is clear PETG. Anybody that is looking for some good clear PETG, I recommend Atomic Filament. That's who I've been using with printing these parts. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, the easiest way to check this is to take the filter body, which is this piece right here. This is the piece that actually fits up from the back side into the mask shroud itself. And I'm going to take the outer ring for the filter body as well. And pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 parts together. Now, I'm going to tell you, none of these parts need to be printed with supports, but this part has had nothing done to it. It has literally been pulled off the bed, thrown in the box. I am literally one finger turning the outer ring. If you can one finger turn the outer ring, your print is good. Your print is in the range of what you're looking for. You're looking for it to have a little bit of wiggle, but you'll be able to turn it one finger and ultimately tighten it up. And I can literally just take and just spin the outer ring and it spins. That is the ideal print right here. Now I'm going to grab another part, and actually from another printer. So this is a buddy of mine that's printing parts, and now this is from his printer. Say it's still my part. I'm able to put it together, and I can one finger turn this part. That is also a good print. The fact that I can take from 2 different printers and fit them together, that means both printers were actually set up and calibrated correctly. I am going to put out a calibration cube for you guys to print to help with calibrating your printers and to give you exact dimensions for every piece, part of the piece that you need to measure. But this is a good part. And likewise, I can take and grab the opposite of the parts and do the exact same thing. So these are good printed parts right here, ideal for the mask. One thing that I've run into is I have a couple parts that ultimately a little bit more difficult to fit together. Like I said, I'm going to sand these down to make them fit together, but if I go to fit these parts together, everything is a little bit more difficult to actually get to fit together. And actually this one here, I may even, oh there we go, I finally got the threads to see. Yeah, this one here I'm struggling with a little bit, but it does fit together. But ultimately what's very likely happening is it's very likely that you're over extruding in this part. So that is one of the key aspects that you want to look at when printing these parts, is making sure that they fit together correctly. Because if they don't fit together correctly, ultimately you're going to have people, one, not want to use these. Now this Here I grabbed a different ring and it fit together fine. This one here is still got a little bit of a resistance, but it should be all right. But this one still is over extruding a little bit. This is not an ideal fit. So, but I can grab different parts and they all fit differently. So the one thing to pay attention to is fit up, mainly fit up and ease of turning that the outer ring spindle. So the other piece of these parts that you want to make sure of that they fit together to ultimately tell if you are running into some fit up or printing issues is if I should be able to fit this piece together, and there should not be, and when I say this piece together, I have the shroud, I have the filter body. I should be able to literally put these two together and they both fit together and they slip right into the grooves that they have on the top and bottom of the mask. And so with this part being a little over extruded, very likely what's happening is because it's over extruded, the actual inner ring here and the outer ring of the part this is a little bit bigger. This is actually, the hole is actually smaller, and so the parts actually aren't fitting up totally together. Now again, I can probably take and sand these down and get a good fit, which I will. And then you can also take like a file and file this outer ring down a little bit to get this to fit together better. But to show you with some parts that we do have that we know are being printed at the proper extrusion and have good fit up, I am literally able to put the part together, align these slots, both slots, top and bottom, fit in, take the filter ring, or the filter ring, attach together, and that is a solid mask. It should go together that easily with this mask. So just be aware that that is the proper fit up for the actual MalaMask and when you're threading things on. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, ping me on Twitter, send me an email. You can find it on the project page, but go to wiki.rivercitylabs.space, wiki.rivercitylabs.space, and go to the COVID-19 section in the left-hand bar, and once you click on that, go to the MalaMask project and you'll find information there on my email and the project in general. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, definitely hit me up. Thanks. Happy making.